Good timing. All right, the last group I want to talk about is specifically photovoltaic sensitivity, seizure disorders. And basically, the thing we need to think about is flashing objects. Anybody do any flashing objects in their content? Anybody at all? I do know somebody who does. Thank you very much. Well, that's a little different. The refresh rate, as long as you're within a range, you're fine. Yes, sir?
Yes, I use it in my classes in web page layout. When to use it and when not to use it.
And yes, exactly. There's really, unless you're doing really old design, there's no real reason to use flashing objects anymore. I do know some disciplines, for instance, photography, that flashing is essential to the discipline. So that's a time then when you look at the learning outcome and determine, well, is there a substantially equivalent ease of use outcome that we could work with this particular person? Now, very often what happens is individuals getting into photography didn't know they had a photovoltaic sensitivity. And it's at that moment that they're doing this exercise that they fall out in a seizure because they had no clue that they had this issue. And we had no clue either. So there's really, then we figure out what we can do about that. But that's a very specific, special case. So the idea is not to put flashing material in your content unless it's discipline specific, right? Now, there are examples in here if you want to torture yourself. But it does have, and they're doing this on purpose, please do not use these if you think that you might have photovoltaic sensitivity because we don't want you to fall out in a seizure. But if you want to see what it looks like, some examples of how bad this can be, then here's an opportunity to do so. Again, all these materials are in the course for you to come back to, so then you can reference this. We have a bunch of institutions that we are curating this course with. They have provided us with essential, and this particular institution is University of Utah, and it's WebAIM, Web Accessibility in Mind. And they do the best job of using layman's language to help us understand what it is that we're trying to achieve. And we use them a lot because of that reason. They do a great job of it. So, any further questions before we move on to Module 2? No? Awesome.